Let me make it better. And just like, oh, I feel better now. So hopefully we get some nice healing the heart from Sister Sona today. And she is a teacher for over 40, I think 42 years, you told me, in Abu Dhabi. Abu Dhabi. I should remember Abu. I'm in Abu Dhabi, right? Connection. Abu Dhabi. She's been a teacher for a long time, and she works on transforming the heart. And so let's listen to Sister Sona.
Thank you, brother, and Om Shanti, everyone. And I don't usually come to Madhuban at this time of year, but such a fortune to be in this wonderful atmosphere, especially during the week of 18th January. Don't you agree? And in fact, you just walk in, to any of the campuses, and I spent quite a bit of time last evening and this morning in Pandav Bhavan, and all of Baba's rooms. It's almost like they've been supercharged. So I don't know if it's the yoga that you're all having, or if it's just Baba's special presence. Sometimes when in a shop things go on sale, right? Buy one, get one free, or that kind of sale. And then everyone goes there, right? And there's such an energy. And January feels a bit like that, Buy one, get one free. Remember me a little, and I'll give you so much more. And it shouldn't really be like that, because every day of our Brahman life is the same, isn't it? It's all a celebration. But still, Baba reserves something special for this time. And so, it's actually 38 years since I first came to Baba. And for many of us, we come to Baba, and already in our lives there are some issues. Sometimes there are external issues that bring us to Baba, right? Some people have some sort of trauma in their life. Somebody leaves the body, some kind of accident. For some, it's the internal disturbance, like you just don't feel comfortable in yourself. Is that right? You just don't feel like you've got everything you need. You don't feel like life is complete, your heart is complete. Who felt like that when you came to Baba? Yeah. Something's missing. And the thing is, whether the soul is aware of it or not, there are so many deep wounds in the soul from the long journey that we've been on. And those wounds are sometimes very well hidden in the subconscious mind. We don't remember them, of course. You don't remember things from so many births. But even the effect of them, the impact, we only find out that it's there when something comes and triggers it. You don't know you have anger in you until the external situation becomes one where suddenly it triggers something, and then the anger, emerges. And then you go, where did that come from? And it's the same with all of our programming inside. It's not that we come to Baba and everything is fine. No. It's not fine for anyone. Otherwise we wouldn't come. Even if we've been on the path of bhakti, even those who come to Baba after doing a lot of devotion, doing devotion doesn't mean that the soul is clean and clear, does it? Some of you might have been from a devotional background. And the love is there for God. Of course, the devotion is there, the love is there, the bhavna is there. But it doesn't mean that the soul has felt the effect of God on itself. You see the difference? We express our love to God through our regular practice. But the beauty of this time, the confluence age, and the beauty of our connection with Baba is really that Baba's energy, Baba's vibration, Baba's love can penetrate the soul. And that's the magic. That's what makes it so unique. When Baba says, I give you a divine intellect, so divine intellect is one where, the soul is able to see things from a different perspective. Because what does the intellect do? The intellect is the eye of the soul. The intellect is the one that sees, or you could say perceives, life. It's the intellect that makes sense of what's going on. No? So what does Baba do? Baba comes and he changes the way the intellect works. Baba says these simple statements to us like, whatever happens is beneficial. It's so simple, right? But have you seen the effect of that on the intellect? What happens? In the old days, something went wrong and we would say, this is terrible. Why has this happened? Why me? It's not fair. This is unjust. And now what do we say? Drama. Okay, yeah. And then along with drama we say, drama is beneficial. Hey, good drama. There's got to be some benefit in this. And the intellect starts to look for the benefit. Right? Lately the doctor told me there was some drama in my left knee. And had it been non-Jnani days, or maybe even 10 years ago, I would have said, oh my God, this is not right. Now I have to do something. It's going to stop me from moving around quickly. I won't be able to run up and down stairs, And now what do I say? Wonderful, Baba. I can have more yoga. I can move more slowly. And get others to move for me, run around for me. So, and what does that do? It does something very unique. It doesn't allow things to leave a negative impression on the heart of the soul. And this has been the issue for 63 paths. It's not about what happened on the outside. It's not about the issues. It's about the effect that had on me. The effect that it left on me. It's like the impact, right? The impression. Another word for sanskaras, I know we often translate it as deep-rooted habits, but I like to say sanskaras are the impressions on the soul. It's like, when you have a car and another car comes and bangs into it, there's like a dent, right? And so it's like that the soul has been impressed, has been dented by various things that have happened. Is this making sense? And sometimes the dents are underneath the car. Sometimes if you're a driver like me, when I go over the speed bump, you can hear this noise. And I think, what have I done? Something touched the ground and something inside must have got dented, right? But I can't see it, and I'm not going to go under the car to have a look. But I know something wasn't quite right. And so all these impressions on the soul. All these dents have accumulated over 63 births. And we only find out through our behavior. We see the effects of those dents, those impressions, in the way we think, and of course in the way we speak and behave. So that's why sometimes when you ask the question, why do I behave this way? What is it that makes me like this? And sometimes Baba says, no, I don't want to be this way, but it just... You can say, oh, I don't want my car to leak oil. But there is obviously a problem that you can't see, which is making it leak oil. It's one of those dents that happened when you were going over a speed bump or something, and there was some damage done. So healing is such a big word these days. It's like a buzzword in all form of spiritual study. And what does healing really mean? So healing means that there is no longer the effect of the dents, of the impressions on the soul. It doesn't mean that I pretend that it didn't happen. It doesn't mean that I suppress what happened so that it doesn't come to my mind. No, it is there. And I know this might have happened, but it no longer has an effect on me. So the negative effect in the subconscious mind is wiped away. Isn't that lovely? So what happens when the negative effect is wiped away? The vice is removed. And the way I understand the drama, I always think it's like the soul's intellect was so pure. And as we went along the cycle and, we had different impressions, different traumas, different experiences, all of those experiences, they were like a weight on my purity. And they kind of suppress the purity in the soul. So the weight of negative memories, the weight of impure behavior, all of those, they start to actually create, whether you call it suppression of purity or whether they cover my purity. They, like the layers of a cabbage, purity gets stifled, suffocated. Purity can't breathe anymore because of the weight of the whole past. And so my entire story from Copper Age onwards is a weight on the soul. And that impact, that impression that it leaves on the subconscious mind, it doesn't allow me to be myself. It doesn't allow me to have that much love, that much peace, that I can be stable within that. So what a beautiful Murli this morning as well, right? So connected with the class, where Baba said, don't let the remembrance of anyone else in. Why? Well, we do remember others from time to time. People come to your mind and they have to. If you have children, you have to look after them. If you have a center, you have to make sure everyone is okay. But you see, whatever I remember affects the level of my consciousness. You remember your bank account? Your consciousness is here. Okay? You remember the things that you own, you possess, the Ferrari car and the $1 million house. Your consciousness is here. You remember your good relationships in life, your Lokik family or your center family, a Lokik family. Your consciousness is a bit higher. So consciousness is connected with what or who I remember. Make sense? The purer the object of my remembrance, the higher my consciousness goes. And what is yoga actually? Technically think of what is yoga, how does remembrance work? Well, Baba's consciousness is up here, always, forever. Pure, 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 right? And when I lift my consciousness and I remember Baba, and I have seed stage yoga with a lot of love, what happens? It's like I start to vibrate or I start to feel the same consciousness as God. Sometimes you just feel so elevated when you're having good yoga, right? So beyond this world. So stable, so still. Have you had those experiences in meditation? You must have. You're the January group, right? Just being completely a point, pure, clean, perfect, silent. And that's when, you don't even connect your intellect with body, with things. You're so happy being there. And even when you land back after that yoga, the soul flies back and you land in your body and the consciousness of being here. But you kind of don't even feel like speaking. You just feel quite content in your little silent bubble. Has anyone ever had that experience? You have, right? That's what we're Brahmins for. So what happens is every time I raise my consciousness up there, I allow Baba's vibrations and energy to affect the soul. So now, rather than things of my journey of 63 births leaving an impression, who's leaving an impression on the soul? Baba. That energy is leaving an impression in my subconscious mind. And what it's actually doing is it's awakening my old pure impressions and saying, come on, soul, awaken the purest part of you. It's like, if you can imagine, very early in springtime, when the first rays of the sun touch the ground. And what do those rays of sun say to the bulbs sitting? Awaken, awaken, I've come. And the bulbs start to feel the warmth and start to grow. Especially cold countries, where for a few months of the year there are no flowers at all, there's no activity on the ground. There's often snow. So that snow represents the vices and the impacts on the soul that, don't allow that purity to come up, to grow. But Baba's pure energy awakens the latent potential inside. And this is what yoga does. And this is why Baba says, every single Murli. What does he say? Remember me, remember me. I mean, how many times he says it? Just remember me. Why? Just let me awaken, reawaken you. Let me in, basically. let me in. Because if you don't let me in, I can't have any effect. And all yoga is allowing the effect of Baba, of God's energy, deep, deep inside the subconscious mind. So when, in the introduction, brother said, no, if you fall down as a child and your mummy kisses your wound, it feels so much better, right? I mean, the wound is still there, the pain is still there. Why does it feel better? Because the soul experiences love. And so the memory of that love takes me into a different feeling. I mean, the wound might still be pouring out with blood, and you might have fractured your foot or your leg, and the pain is there, but just that little touch from mummy, and I forget that, and I remember this. So the intellect gets diverted. Make sense? So what does Baba do? Baba says your intellect was stuck in all those wounds and the effect of those wounds. And so when we have yoga with Baba, it's like Baba diverts us from those wounds, and he pulls our consciousness to that highest, purest level, which people describe it with different words, right? Some people say it's bliss. Some people say it's pure, pure love. And what does pure love mean? Complete acceptance, complete belonging. This feeling of everything is okay. It doesn't mean that I suppress my story. It doesn't mean that I say it didn't happen. It's there, it happened. But it no longer has an effect on me. It no longer can suppress any part of my pure self, the soul. And this is the magic of Baba's love. Human beings, through their love, can distract the intellect. They can take me away from thinking of something negative into a positive space or a happy space, but it's temporary. And the energy of humans can't reach as deep as Baba's energy can. Baba's energy falls on the chit of the soul. Remember Dadi Janki used to use this word a lot. The chit, the memory track of the soul. It's almost like, in the layers of the subconscious mind, there is the deepest level where all your memories are sort of alive. That's where the impression, the impact happens. And whatever is still on that chit, the memory track, is what is affecting your sanskaras, your personality, and ultimately the way you behave. Is this making sense, everyone? You're very quiet. Okay. It's January, that's why you're quiet. Okay, so I've only been here 3 days, so I don't know what it's like when you're here for 12 days over the 18th of January. So, yeah, it's pretty amazing. Baba silenced all of you. So, okay, let's do a little work, okay? I've spoken for quite a while, so it's time for you to do your own little introspection now. Does everyone have pen and paper? Or if you prefer to write or type on your phone, I don't really mind, whatever you want. Maybe just reflect a little bit and ask yourself, where inside me might there still be a block? Where inside me might there still be a block? A block of my purity. And then what does that look like? Because that's a very vague sentence, but where is it that I can't hold pure love, pure feelings for someone or for a situation? Where is it that I get disturbed? When is it that I get anxious? Because all of these are signs of impure impression in the soul. Can you identify what bothers you, what disturbs you, what blocks you from being completely loving, completely stable like Baba? And you don't have to share all of this, so you can write very freely. It's just between you and Baba. So if I just give you 5 minutes to reflect. So if you're having trouble identifying, then just ask yourself, what still disturbs me? What bothers me? And if nothing bothers you and disturbs you, it means you're karmatit. You shouldn't be in class. Okay, done? Everyone? Written down something? Okay, so now behind every disturbance, behind every form of feeling of discomfort in the soul, obviously there is a vice, but behind every vice is need. All the 5 vices come from some form of emptiness in the soul. And so I try to fill through the vices, but it doesn't work. So ask yourself, what is my emptiness? What is my need that is creating this disturbance? So what is the emptiness inside me that's creating an expectation, that's creating the vice, that's creating the need? Okay, all done? Now, imagine you took what you've just written and you went to Baba. It's Baba, look, this is where I'm at. What would Baba say to you? Imagine, right? Yeah? You take this. And you can go to Baba's room, or you can just in your mind go to Baba and say, hey Baba, look, I've done my reflection and this is my chart at the moment. This is how it's going for me. This is where my need is. This is where I'm empty. This is where I get disturbed in life. What do you think Baba would remind you of? Because he can't say anything new. He's told you everything. But what would Baba remind you? What would Baba say to you? Okay. Did you get some answers from all this writing? Yes. A little bit clearer what to do for the rest of January. It's only the 20th today, so we still have 11 days. And Baba gave us 2 months, right, to do homework. So really, we have 2 months to sort it all out. And then destruction can begin, right? And this is the thing, isn't it? There's 2 parts to healing. One is I need to know what needs to be healed. I need to know myself. I need to know what is remaining in the soul, no matter how hidden it is, that is creating this unnecessary reaction, disturbance, confusion. And then to recognize that behind all disturbance and reaction is an expectation or a need, whether from a person, whether from drama, whether from myself. But that need, that emptiness, it's like a really deep impression inside. It's the opposite of being content. You know, just like Baba says, contentment is the mother of all virtues. In the same way, emptiness is the mother of all vices. Look at all the vices. Lust is a need. I need to feel happy in the wrong way. Anger is a need. I need to feel in control. So I get angry because I try to make the situation or the person do what I want. Greed, it's obvious need, right? Greed for food. Usually it's connected with emotions. Greed for things, you know, some people hoard things. You open their cupboard and everything falls out. They've got so much stuff stocked up inside. But there is a feeling that I need to have. There's some insecurity that creates greed. Attachment. Again, you know, my identity is lost in the object or the person of my attachment. So I need to keep it the way it is. Can't let things flow with life. Again, control issues and ego. Who doesn't know about ego? You know, ego is nothing but complete need to be seen, to be heard, to be recognized. It's a false identity that just becomes bigger and bigger because nobody is recognizing me, so I need to be even bigger. As Baba says, just become a point. I can see you then. I can recognize you. You see how all the vices are connected with needing and wanting and emptiness. And so what does Baba say to the soul? My love can fill every need. My love can feel every emptiness inside. My love can heal, not just temporarily, but fully, completely. The purer the love, the more it reaches into the soul and fills the cracks. So a mother's love is pretty good, you know, when you're a little child, but once you grow up, no, we need something purer. And what does love do? Love gives a sense of, I am seen, I belong, I'm accepted, I'm okay as I am. It fills the heart of the soul, it fills every need of the soul. Love creates such a sense of security and stability inside. So when I'm touched with Baba's energy and Baba's love, I can see even my 63 births, I can see even this birth and all the things that happen. But somehow the intellect doesn't connect there anymore. The intellect is much happier being in this feeling of love. And then one step further than that is when the soul has so saturated itself in love that you can turn back and look at your story with the eyes of mercy and compassion. And this is ultimately the angel, isn't it? The angel, the angelic stage that Brahma Baba is constantly in, because he is full, is that he just looks down and nothing can have an impact on him. Nothing can leave an impression on him. He is above that. And he can just give compassion, mercy, love, unconditionally and in an unending way. That's the angel. Love is like a bulletproof cover. Nothing can penetrate it to create an impact in the soul. Nothing. It's a bit like, when there's a war and you have missiles being fired and aeroplanes are told to fly very high so that you don't get, shot down by the missile. So it's like love, Baba's energy of love lifts the soul. Remember how I said our consciousness is pulled up to such a level where all the missiles that fly in life are down here. I'm in such a different space that not only am I beyond any impact, but I can actually help to start to heal others as well. So I thought maybe we have a few moments. Would anyone like to share anything from your writing? Anybody feel comfortable, courageous enough to share what Baba said to you? So if we do it over there, then the camera doesn't come on you, so anybody can share. So you don't need to say your name, you don't need to say where you're from. You can just share comfortably, and nobody will be videoing you at all.
Okay, so I'll start this thought. So since you mentioned the missiles, the world conditions and the unfairness, the strong versus the weak, and the small child that doesn't have an opportunity to and suffers the consequences. So that's something that's fairly heavy. And that really can affect the soul. Anyone else?
And what did Baba say to that?
What did Baba say? Baba said that, sorry, let me find that one because there was a few of them, but this one here was something about the drama, insufficient detachment and gyan.
Anyone else want to share anything from your writings? What Baba said to you or how you felt?
It's like when in life we do expect things to happen in a certain way anyway. Of course, we try not to have expectations, but anyhow we know that's how life is going to be now, tomorrow, day after. So I'm doing necessary things which I have to do for that, and then all of a sudden something happens so unexpected, absolutely unexpected, out of the blue. Like, something, and something, it could be something with the health, all of a sudden tomorrow you need to go for a conference or speak with a delegation and your tooth falls out or get cracked and well, anything, or something happens connected to the world scenario which we are watching now. And that does upset you, isn't it? Anyway, you get a bit kind of, anyhow, you get a bit set back. So in that way, the point where Baba says that watch the drama, it's like a film which is happening where I'm one of the participants of the film. It's a film being staged, and I should have more detachment. I shouldn't feel it. It should not affect me. It should not pain me. It should not upset me in any way. So I need to have some inner distance between what's happening and me. There should be some distance. I shouldn't take it immediately inside into my heart, there's not sufficient. Baba would say there is not sufficient detachment, as brother also said. There should be a distance between me and what's happening. And when that distance is not there, then you do feel uncomfortable. So we have to enlarge that space, between the what's happening in the drama and our own inner space.
Thank you. Does anyone else like to share? You all wrote for a long time. One more person. You don't have to write it all, say it all. You can just tell us a few little bits and pieces.
I felt about situations that disturb me often have to do with the emptiness of the lack of self-respect and emptiness of being loved. So the situation are situations that have to do with others and that I feel a bit left alone. They don't understand me, how I am. I don't feel recognized and loved. So, and then I saw that the love is the emptiness, the love for myself. And so Baba said, dear child, you're such a special child. You don't have to doubt yourself. You are so loveful. You are one of my children, lovely children who are making effort to belong to a group that's making themselves very pure. So I have fallen my eyes on you. Don't forget that ever. I love you how you are. So I really can feel that this message, this kind of words from Baba, of course it's not new, that helps me the most, is the most important lack in myself, to heal it that way.
Well done, thank you.
No pictures.
So don't say your name, don't say where you're from, just share.
When I look at the question, where is the block of the mind that make me cannot be ever loving and stable? And the things that come to my mind is desire. I think this is a big question for me. And when I journal about it, I think what brings me back is to practice who I am. because this really reminds me of what Papa says in Mali, that maybe 2 days ago, Papa says, when you are complete in soul consciousness, there is no desires. And that's what I have experienced so many times here in Madhuban. I feel like there's no desires existed when I totally in the consciousness that I am a soul. And this is just amazing. I just feel like I need nothing else. Nothing is needed for me. And that's one point. And another point that helps me to stop any desires that come is one lovely statement from Baba is that I myself come to teach you. What else do you want? And whenever I have anything that I desire, anything, anyone, so I just remember what Baba say, that the Supreme Soul, the Supreme Guru, the Supreme Father has come for me and teaches me and give me everything I want. And I feel like he listened to me. Not just he hears me, but he listens. He keeps listening to me and responds to every thought, everything. Because I keep writing journal and tell him almost everything, even what I thought, what I something happened and I have that desire. I tell him everything. If I cannot write, I just tell in the mind, and I just feel like he responds everything for me. So remember who I am. I am a soul, and who is teaching me. So that's really touched me and free me from desires. Beautiful. And this also remind me of one small thing that Sister Gopi, when she went to Vietnam this year, she shared that a story that when a young brother, he has a problem with his team in the field of service, and he just come to Sister Gopi and cry, complain, everything. So Sister Gopi say, let's play a game that whenever you come to me, I will say, oops, the prince has fallen off the throne. Let's get back again. So I think this is really interesting. I draw a picture, and also I did it for myself. When I feel I cannot bear this, Baba, this is not right. And then I remind myself that Baba tell to me, oh, my little prince, get back on the throne, please. So that really helps me. Yeah, thank you. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you. Thank you. So yeah, it's so true, isn't it? It's very true. It's ultimately my own inner emptiness, my needs, my desires, my expectations, no? And that are creating all the problems inside. Now let's take Baba's love and let's fill my emptiness, my need. Okay?
मुक्ति धाम तुम्हें जाना है, अपने सुकर्मों के बल पर ही सतयुग में तुमको आना है। शिव पिता को अब याद करो, ये संगम का स्वर्णिम युग है, शिव पिता फिर से आया है।
ब्रह्मांक से शिव बाबा ने वही गीता ज्ञान सुनाया है।
कलयुग का अंत अब आया है, विकराल विनाश खड़ा आगे।
अब हम सबका शिव पिता ने बतलाया है।
शिव पिता को अब याद करो। पांडव शिव शक्ति सेना की रणभेरी अब फिर बजती है।
शिव बाबा के ज्ञान से फिर माया को मार भगाना है।
शिव पिता को अब याद करो, सतयुग में तुमको आना है। शिव पिता को अब याद करो, मुक्ति धाम तुम्हें जाना है। अपने सुकर्मों के बल पर ही सतयुग में अब तुम्हें आना है।
धाम में तुम्हें
सतयुग में अब तुम्हें आना है।
धाम में तुम्हें जाना है।
Shanti. So, yeah, God's love is just that strongest, purest power that is like a laser beam, penetrates the soul deep down inside and fills the soul with everything you want. And you know, when that happens, what happens to the attitude towards the drama? You know, when something happens in drama, and usually the things that disturb us are the unexpected things, and you just feel like nothing really matters. Nothing is so important. Nothing has power over me. Why? Because love, or the feeling of fullness that comes with Baba's love, it allows all expectations to drop away. You know, any expectation means I'm still looking to fill myself from that person or that situation. But if I'm so full with Baba's love and the strength of, you know, that contentment through my relationship with Baba, then not only is the past healed, meaning the past has no effect on me, but secondly, regarding the future too, whatever is to come, it doesn't really matter. Why? Because it can't have an impact on me. And Sister was talking before about having detachment. I think Brother said as well, you remember how I mentioned that love actually is a protection. Love is like a buffer, creates like a buffer zone. Love is like a protective shield. It doesn't allow anything to come in and touch your heart, which means it doesn't allow anything to leave an imprint on you. And this is why Baba often says at night, write your chart. Why? When you sleep at night, make sure you're not carrying any more imprints, any more dents in the soul from today to tomorrow. if you're going to carry more imprints and impacts now, well, when are we going to get rid of them? Now is the time to use Baba's love to heal, to resolve the impacts that are there. How? By realizing that they were all created because I had a need. I opened myself up to being affected. I was affected. Dents happened, impressions happened. But now, love lets them go. Love lets them go. And even the feelings of the drama is unfair and people are suffering and animals are suffering and it's really, how much worse can the world become? Well, you haven't seen anything as yet. We haven't seen anything. This is only the tip of the iceberg, right? And Baba's given us plenty of warning that it's their karma. It's not your karma. They've got to sort it all out. And if you don't allow them to sort it out, we can't move the drama to another position. So, and now is the time to create such a protection with Baba's love, such a shield, that we are not impacted anymore or disturbed anymore by anything. Secondly, whatever is there inside, let Baba's love fill all of those pockets, those needs, so that, and I can keep my consciousness at that level with Baba full and give. And that is the meaning of becoming an angel and becoming a deity. Deity means one who is constantly giving. Why? Because I am full, so full that I don't need anything. Even from the unexpected. It's okay. Unexpected is no problem. All right? So remember, we've got 2 months, just 2 months to finish this all off. Healed, cleaned, polished, and then Baba, chalo, the drama can move on, right? Om Shanti.
So a big thank you to Sister Sona for the wonderful experience. And I think that this writing and in our journals and that is very healing. And so it's a great time, since many of us are leaving right away. So it's a great time to have this magical potion from the doctor, Dr. Love. Okay, Om Shanti, everyone. And again, thank you so much. And we hope to see you very, very soon again. If not, for sure next year at the same time. And so a couple of things. There is a suggestion box here. And so for those that haven't yet put a comment, whether it's something how we can improve or how we can, what we can do that's better for next season, please don't hesitate. Write down. You don't have to put your name there. You can just leave it blank. And we won't tell the people in Vietnam who wrote it, so you're okay too. And so enjoy. Om Shanti. And was there something else, Inebin? Magical box. Baba's magical box. And if you put something in Baba's magical box, he will do his magic as well. Om Shanti.
Om Shanti. Many of you came to me and say, and Brother Daniel and our team, thanks a lot, thanks a lot. It was so magical. This is very beautiful season. It was a so perfect session there. I say, thank you, dear, but please, right here, it's more will be more effective for us. Yeah, we can understand what needs change, what needs add for this. Yeah, therefore it will be very useful for us. Thank you if you understand us. Om Shanti.
they work on it for months, and then they come here and then execute the whole thing. Often, it takes up their time, their precious Madhuban time. So we always give thanks to Baba, of course, but all those who are behind the scenes as well. And whatever suggestions you give, then it means next year it can only be better. Yeah. So we don't give suggestions from a place of emptiness. We give suggestions from a place of fullness for more fullness. Right? So, okay. So we finish with a minute's yoga, a couple of minutes. Thank you, brother.